guys, welcome back to Boots and Bounty Homestead. We're back in Casey's kitchen today, and I've got a unique recipe for you. Now, some of you may have had this back in the day, but it's not very commonly heard of nowadays, and you usually only see it with the old timers. So I ran across this recipe and I made it last year, and it was delicious. But if you've been around here very long, you know that I like to use every part of the plant or vegetable that I can, or fruit for that matter. And that's what this is. This is a recipe for watermelon rinds. So we are still enjoying the watermelon from this watermelon. And I've got the rinds left over that I saved just for this video, so I can bring you a recipe that is a watermelon rind preserve. You can also pickle these. You can also make little candies out of them. I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to make a preserve, and that way we can enjoy them that I know everybody's going to enjoy. So what we've got to do is start off with our watermelon rinds. We've got to get the green part off and get these chopped up and into a pot. And I've pulled out my brand new Dutch oven to be ready for our watermelons. And we've got to get these cut up. The recipe calls for like 12 cups of watermelon rind. I'm just going to cut up whatever we have, and what we get is what we get, because I don't have any more watermelon rind. So we're going to cut these up, and we're going to cut them. You can cut these in smaller pieces. This wasn't a very big watermelon, but we can cut this in half and then just take the green part off. You can either do it with a potato peeler, or you can do it with a small paring knife, however you want to. Just as long as you get it down to the white and red part. We need to take the skin off. And then we'll cut them up into about a ½ inch to an inch cubes, and then we've got to let them cook down. So let's go ahead and get these cut up so we can get this started. Alright guys, now that we've got all that cut up, I'm going to say this is probably 8 to 10 cups. And so I'm going to decrease the amount of ingredients by just a little bit, but I'll have the regular recipe down below. I'm just going to adjust this one just a little bit to accommodate what I have on hand. So to this, I'm going to go ahead and put in roughly 4 cups of sugar. The recipe calls for 3 to 4.5. So I'm going to do about 4 cups of sugar, and then stir this up and let this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes, so that way that sugar can draw the water out before we start cooking it. Okay, so to this we're going to go ahead and add 4 cups of sugar. And if you really don't want to add this much, you don't have to. This is a per taste kind of recipe. But I wouldn't go any less than 3, because that's how much, the least amount it takes to preserve the watermelons. Alright, so looks like we got watermelon candy now. We're going to let this sit here for about 20 to 30 minutes. And whenever we get back to it, it'll be good and syrupy. Alright, so as you can see, there's a lot of juice in there. A lot of juice. A lot of syrup. So stir it up real good. And then we've got to heat this up and let it cook for 2 hours. So let's put it on medium high. Get it going. And then just stir it periodically. And then I will bring you back close to the end. Alright, to give you guys a sneak peek, this is an hour in. Really soupy. cooking down some. And what we're going for is to see these white pieces right here to start turning clear. They will end up being clear. So I've got 1 more hour on this. Alright, so our watermelon rinds have boiled down for 2 hours. So to this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, or you can cut up 1 lemon and put in it. Woo! 1 and 2. That was all of the rest of the fresh lemon juice I had. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Get that all stirred up, and then we're going to cook this for about 10 more minutes to get those spices good and incorporated into the mixture. Okay, so we've got this cooked down with the cinnamon and lemon in it. The next step is going to be to make this the consistency that you want it. Now with that, I'm going to use an immersion blender to get rid of some of the chunks in here. And you can make this to whatever consistency that you want. Hold your ears. And just work on getting some of the bigger chunks out. Just be careful, don't let it splash on you. Okay, looks good to me. So now we're ready to jar it up. This makes 2, maybe 3 pints. We're going to find out. Depend on, you know, how much rind you used and how much of the juice cooked down and all that good stuff. It kind of depends. Alright, we're going up to about a 1/2 inch of headspace. We might have a little bit left over to eat in the morning. Yep, got a little bit left over. Alright. We are going to, I need to wipe those off because those are sticky. Get yourself a clean wet rag. Wipe the rims off. And then we're going to put our lids on. And then our wings. Finger tight. Because it's hot. Alright guys, from here we are going to water bath this for 15 minutes. And I want you to see what it looks like.
Pretty.
You can see the cinnamon in there. Now I ground my cinnamon, so it's a little bit chunkier than the regular ground cinnamon. But you can see some of the pieces of the rind in there. Looks almost like tomato sauce on there. Alright guys, we've got our watermelon rind preserves all completed. It's been water bath. They set overnight. And I wanted to show you the consistency of how well it thickened up. Pretty thick. Very pretty. You can see all the little specks in it. From the cinnamon. Of course mine is ground up cinnamon that I did from sticks. So, and there's the bits from the rind. Very pretty. And it also tastes good too. We had a little sampling of it as I got through cooking it yesterday. Tastes very good. So I hope you go out and try this watermelon rind preserve recipe and let it bring you back to the old days. And don't waste any part of the plant, fruit, or vegetable. And we will see you later, guys. Bye-bye.